conditions good today?
Yep. I guess those aren't quite the conditions. So, what do we do today? On small days like this, we can really practice the pop-up fundamentals. Go back to basics. Back to basics. There's been a few different reiterations of this pop-up. Obviously, the traditional old school front foot sideways stance into now the more modern approach in terms of back foot first and more of a linear directional, but requires a lot of mobility and flexion. So I've been playing with a new kind of pop-up, which is kind of a mixture of both. And Liam is going to be my guinea pig today. And we're going to put him through it. Very small waves, which require sensitivity, slow movement, but with intention and precise. The very first moment or beginning of a pro pop-up, if you want to give it that kind of category. It's where that foot and ankle is rolled over and the knee is in this position on the board, and then this front foot is literally just posed and sitting, and you get into this very comfortable pose, but they don't stay there for very long. It's just a moment into a compression and into a move. But if we isolate that position and we give it to beginners, I believe it's a way more stable fundamental key for them to learn confidence on the surfboard before skill. Obviously, we need them in order to bring that front foot to start accelerating and shifting weight, but this is beyond in the beginning. There are too many variables, and the conditions are just not always in our favor. So how can we isolate this to a point of we can control it regardless of the conditions? And my approach would be to take it right back down to that very first moment. And if we have a bit of ankle mobility, a bit of knee flexibility, this position is very stable. Grab rail, pull into any size wave, and at any moment, because of that position, you can just stand up with zero effort because the board will be moving from you. So yeah, let's go jump in and see what we can find out. Alrighty, welcome. Obviously way too windy to try and record out there, but let's go have some fun. Trying to be fancy and switch it off. But yeah, let's get into some surfing. Here we are into that new little pop-up. You can see I land a little bit on the back foot to pull the brakes. That's actually because the board accelerates a little bit too fast for the whitewash, and then you get ahead of it, and then you actually have to wait for it to catch back up. So today we're talking about the progression of the pop-up and how we can best suit it for a board like this. As in my recent experience, I've taken a big step backwards in my surfing and reapproached the basics of the pop-up, but also now from a coach's eye perspective. And then being introduced into this foam board that's being utilized as a training tool, I've discovered a few things. Some inefficiencies potentially, and maybe some alternatives when there is cases of immobility, coordination issues. So that's kind of where this reiteration of the pop-up is coming from. It's to put another tool in the toolbox so that beginners can draw from it based on their energy levels, the conditions, or any variables that they don't feel comfortable with. This is a safe position where fun can be had. Truly, you can achieve a lot in this position, and the fear factor of falling or looking inadequate or not applying the right technique all goes away, and the fun factor gets reintroduced, and we start surfing, and then the coach can start applying technique. And what's being taught at the moment in the beginning phases is not incorrect. It's just the right tool for the right job, and unfortunately it seems to be being pointed as more of a multi-tool. And a longboard and a shortboard are two very different things, and a foam board is another thing in itself. So this de-escalation of progression, if you want to call it that, it's simpler. But if we can get away with the idea of standing and carving like a pro in our first couple of sessions, then we can just lower that base
there's a lot of fun to be had. So let's jump into those progressions and have a look and see where we can pull and push pieces to fit and cater. I'm not trying to preach this as the new square to push people through, right? I'm trying to, let's take the lid off this thing and just choose which shape we like at what point. And then we have this adaptability. And taking that lid off is part of creativity, because nobody might have told you that you can just take the lid off and then all your pieces fit in perfectly fine. It's a rule you're holding yourself to. And this is technique. We wrap ourselves in rules with technique. But let's have a listen to Liam and hear what he's got to say about the new pop-up.
With the new pop-up method today, it actually helps with that stability on the board, focus which direction you want to go, and with the hand movement, because I normally on my board use my shoulders to turn, but now with that hand movements, it makes turning a little bit easier.
Yeah, so thank you very much for joining us today. We're gonna go get dried and yeah, washed up. Thank you very much. Have a great one.
Peace out!